Hello and welcome to Theatre.Reviews with Paul Severn. I'm here at the National Theatre to see Coriolanus. I have some reservations about this production of Coriolanus, but there's one thing I have no doubt about, and that's the performance of David Oyelowo in the title role. He has rarely been seen on the stage in the last 20 years, thanks to the lure of Hollywood, so it's genuinely exciting to welcome him back, and I'm pleased to report he does not disappoint. Keep watching and I'll tell you about his magnificent performance and how it fits into this National Theatre production of Coriolanus. But first, please like, comment and subscribe to this channel. Thank you. The problem with this particular Shakespeare play is that we never really get inside the head of the lead character. Unlike protagonists elsewhere in Shakespeare's tragedies, he's no soliloquies, so we don't understand and empathise with him in the way we do with, say, Hamlet or Macbeth. He's a Roman soldier, but more than that, he's a weapon created by Rome's military culture and specifically by his mother, the only human being he seems to care about. Near the beginning of the play, he establishes his military credentials in warfare. After that, it's all about Rome trying to control this missile they've launched. Actual physical fighting takes up a small but, in this production, memorable part of the play. But mostly we watch people talking about Coriolanus and trying to persuade him to be what he can't be, which is to say, someone who bites his tongue, compromises and flatters. And they fatally underestimate him. When he returns to Rome a hero, he seems an obvious candidate for a peacetime leader. The trouble is he can't hide his feelings of contempt for people and politics. Rome turns against him, then finds the missile pointed at them. Coriolanus is up against the two great forces of Rome at that time, the plebeians and the patricians, and Shakespeare appears to have little time for either. The former are seen as a rabble who are easily swayed, the latter are self-serving, the herdsmen of the beastly plebeians. On the face of it, Coriolanus is a simple soldier, a man of principle who refuses to play the political game and seeks revenge when betrayed. As in any tragedy, it's his actions that lead to his downfall, but we as an audience are uncertain whether his actions are a symptom of arrogance, pride, humility, or simply a soldier's rigid ideas of right and wrong. And Lyndsey Turner's production doesn't really discount or endorse any of these possibilities, which leaves us to notice what seems like a form of autism in his inability to empathise and his black and white view of the world. David Oyelowo provides us with a Coriolanus full of power and subtle feelings. He's undoubtedly a man of action. No one in a Shakespeare play can be said to be a man of few words, and Coriolanus does have a few choice poetic metaphors to bestow on those who let him down. But by the bard's standards, he's positively tight-lipped. Mr. Oyelowo speaks the poetry clearly and fluently, but it's through his face and body that he most expresses his puzzlement and anger at what he encounters. From the start, he conveys undoubted nobility, but he is a soldier first, and he has a soldier's bearing and bluntness. He bears his ripped body more than once, which contributes to the sense that he's very much an alpha male in a world of beaters. In Rome, during peacetime, he walks and sits awkwardly. He only seems comfortable when fighting. And the sword fight scenes are pretty exciting, as choreographed by Sam Lyon-Bean. Whenever he leaves the stage, the temperature drops. In this production, none of the other characters emerge with much force or credit, although the actors certainly do. Peter Forbes as Menenius, the wily politician trying to pour oil on troubled waters, is suitably patrician. Stephanie Street and Jordan Metcalfe as the devious populist tribunes, Sicinius and Brutus, are appropriately slimy. Cobner Holbrook Smith as Ophidius is also a successful soldier, but in contrast to his sworn enemy Coriolanus, he can play the political game. Pamela Novetti as Coriolanus' domineering mother has the right hectoring tone, and judging by the way she influences him into his fateful decisions, gives us another major clue to Coriolanus' character. He respects, even fears his mother, but there's no hint of love between them. Lyndsey Turner's production brings out the contrast between the soldiers who built and protect Rome and the inhabitants who take for granted the benefits of peace that the army's feats have brought them. And the production begins with a video projection designed by Ashley Woodward, where people are shown from high above, scuttling around like ants. Es Devlin provides an impressive set that continues this theme. It dominates the production and the people, maybe a little too much, because the story may speak about war and democracy, heroes and the populace, but it is told on a human scale, and the huge set does sometimes distract from the humanity. On the other hand, when those massive marble blocks descend to create a sense of the power and history of Rome, we also get the sense that the current Romans, both the elite and the people, are like the ants we saw earlier. The Roman interiors are like a museum with lots of artefacts on tables, perhaps indicating the past was once the present, and that this story will soon be history, and maybe even that history constantly repeats itself. After all, we can see many examples today of populism and riots and political ambition threatening democracy, and of people who would rather fight than compromise. And this is underlined by the way the actors are in modern dress. And there's a moment at the end that indicates fighters like Coriolanus will always be needed and remembered. Conflict is the stuff of drama, and this production should be more exciting, but without any other character bigged up to test him, except maybe his mother, and few big poetic speeches. It's very much Coriolanus versus the rest. And he's a one-trick pony, a soldier with no inner conflict. On the whole, it is an interesting evening, but not, I think, one to go into the history books, despite an unforgettable performance from David Oyelowo. I give Coriolanus 3 stars. I hope you found this review interesting, useful, and if you did, please like, comment and subscribe to this channel, then you'll be the first to know about my future reviews. You can also read my reviews at Theatre.Reviews, where I also round up other critics' reviews of the latest shows. And you can follow me on the usual social media, except for X. Thank you for watching.